Just days after the river season closed, I received special permission to fish 2 private lakes owned by a friend of mine. These lakes, excavated in the 1800s, held an air of mystery, with tales of large eels, sizable pike, and the occasional carp. I had 5 days to test my luck.
So for the next 5 days, we're going to be fishing 2 different lakes. They're both owned by a good friend of mine. They're actually in his back garden. He's had them for many years. It's a wildlife haven. There's muntjac, kingfishers, there's badgers, there's hedgehogs, there's just about everything you can possibly imagine, and it is a beautiful place. And for the next 5 days, I'm going to divide my time between both lakes. They've both got pike in, so my goal this week is to go for the pike. We'll try and get some big pike, and also see what else is in the lake. If any carp, bream, tench, big eels. So I'm going to be jotting my time between both of them with different tactics. It's going to be a case of just trial and error. Well, it's a very silty lake. I'm going to guess that if there is a few small fish in here, it might be quite nutritious, maybe bloodworm. There is the odd bit of weed here and there on the smaller lake next door. And this is the lake sort of next door. You've got 2 next to each other. So later on I'll show you down here there's a little sort of walkway that goes in between both lakes, and we'll be fishing at the top later on maybe, or the top on this particular lake. Just going to keep an eye on the water, look for any signs of fish. So we're coming up to about 1:30. Now I did mention that I was going to do some underwater filming tomorrow on one of the lakes. Personally, I just couldn't wait to get the camera out and give it a go. A company last year sent me a little small wide camera. It's called a Camfish CF1 fish finder, and it's a wide version. You can send it out in the lake and you can film. If you plug it into a battery pack, you can record for hours on end. I've got like a 256 gig card in, and I thought I want to try and get a bite of a pike on the actual camera. So I put it into this close-in margin, put the dead bait out, put a few pellets around, and I want to get a good view of what fish are coming through. I've seen about 2 or 3 perch come through over the past sort of 20 minutes. And hopefully tomorrow we can get maybe some small fish coming in. I'm not overly bothered about catching the roach and all the little perch in that. If I see any big perch, I've got all my lure fishing gear with me, so I've got a load of creature baits. I haven't got any worms or maggots with me, which is the only downside. But I think I might have a few prawns, which is a great bait for perch. So I think it's time for a bit of afternoon lunch, and then we can crack on and hopefully get a few fish later on. So with me having 5 days fishing on here, it makes sense to do a spot of pre-baiting. Now there is obviously eels in here. Apparently there's some nice size eels, and obviously the pike. So pre-baiting is a must. With me being here, you obviously get cormorants on this lake, which are going to be a bit of a problem on a normal day, but with me making a noise and just hanging around near the rods, I can't see us having any problems with them taking these baits. And I'm going to be having the underwater camera here all week, just where this float is. I'm going to be sprinkling all sorts. I want to try and get a bite in front of the cameras, so I'm just going to scatter a few little pieces of fish around here. Any pike or anything coming through, they're going to pick up on the scent trail, and hopefully we can get a bite in front of the camera. Well, we've just come up to about 7 o'clock. It was a really nice sunset this evening, and this is the lake we're going to have a go on tomorrow. We're going to have a few hours at the top, and then the top of the other lake as well. And I'm just hoping tonight we can get some action, and then later on in the week we'll have a go at fishing for the carp and any other species in the lake. but at the moment the piking is very, very slow, and it has been a really bright day. I mean, as you can see, there hasn't been a cloud in the sky all day. It's going to be a fairly cloud-free night by the look of it, so it's going to be a very cold night. I think it's going to be about 0 degrees tonight, so a fairly chilly night for this time of year. But yeah, let's see what we can catch. Well, here we go. Let's go and try and catch some pike. Just going to keep it really simple. A couple of rods, a couple of baits. Like I say, this lake is beautiful, really well kept. And this is the swim we're going to be fishing, and this is why I've got 2 float rods rather than leisures, because I just can't fix them in anywhere. Let's see if we can see any badgers. We've got a little set just down here. We're going to have a few hours on here. This is the top end of the lake, you can't go any further, so it's yeah, looks absolutely perfect. Alright, let's get a little gauge, see how deep it is. I don't think the lake's overly deep. Oh, got a bit of a cold coming. Right, that's absolutely perfect. That's about 6 inches over depth. Right, let's get this out there, see what happens. Well, it is looking very, very gloomy, if I'm honest. We haven't had one pike yet. The underwater cameras didn't show any pike. No eels either, which was quite surprising. I thought we might see the odd eel come through because I put in the tuna and the other bits and bobs that I put out, but there's been absolutely nothing. So I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping that otters haven't been in and took the big pike. That's the one thing that could really ruin it. But a friend of mine, he caught a couple of small ones from here a few weeks back, and even in that lake as well. He had a couple of small ones, and we're not even catching small ones, so we're getting nothing. It's nothing to do with the bait or anything like that. Otherwise I'd be using something else. The main thing is the fish just don't seem to be in the area, or they're not up for it. At the moment it is very, very tricky. So all we can do is try. It's time to move to the other lake. I'm not feeling it at all here, to be honest. I think we've got a bit of a tricky session on his hands, looking at the conditions. Not the actual weather, but just the way the sort of lake's responding. Yeah, these are all manky baits I've had for a while. So we'll get, put one there, get one just there, just scatter them around. Yeah, these are in the right state. One there. And one more just there. Get some of the blood in the water as well. Any pike in the area pick up on this. It's all the oils and blood from the baits. I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but there's a koi carp just there. Probably 12 to 15 pound, maybe a bit bigger. And we are going to have a go for carp on here in a couple of days' time. So we've come up to about 9:30, we're on the second lake now. I've seen quite a few carp come through this margin. One was like a ghost koi carp, just coming through slowly, and you can tell the carp is starting to wake up. But I am surprised that we haven't had one fish, not one pike in the time that we've been here. Very surprised. I'm hoping that this week's not going to turn to a blank and we don't get anything at all, because that would be a bit of a pain. I'm confident that we'll get something over the next few days, but at the moment they're not playing ball at all, and the conditions are all right. It's a little bit brighter now, but looking at it around here, yeah, nobody fishes the lake at all, hardly ever. So you'd think that dead bait's going in the lake, straight away you get a bite, but it's not always the case. It can be more difficult than a pressured venue because the pike don't get fished for, they're not used to the baits going in. But most of the time, when a pike comes across a dead bait, they will always take it. So I'm just thinking, let the days progress and just try not to be too hard on myself. I was expecting, to be honest, to get a bite straight away yesterday. Cast a few rods out, get a bite within a couple of hours, and then start working as a way to get some bigger ones. But sometimes it doesn't always work out that way, and it might be the case on both the lakes. So yeah, I'm not intimidated by the lakes by any means, but the lake seems lifeless at the moment. Right, 2 rods. What have we got? Definitely on this reed line just here. This looks nice. There's a few reeds moving as well. I think that might be carp. There is a few hanging around. Right, where do we go? Where do we go? If there's pike patrolling these margins, then I think that bait will cover that. I think we'll go for a bit of open water. Not too far out, probably a couple of rod lengths just to give it a go. The owner, who's a friend of mine, who's let me actually come down here, has given me a few pieces of bread just to try and show you some of the carp that's actually in this lake. He feeds them all the time, so I'm obviously not going to fish for him. Here we go. Because it'd just be cheating. They're very, very tame fish, these are, as you can see. So I'm not going to be fishing for the carp in this lake. The other lake we'll have a little go. But yeah, there's some lovely carp in here. Look at the colours of them, you can tell they're old fish. Now we do get cormorants on these lakes, so I don't really know how long this bait's going to last, but hopefully it'll work in our favour and we can get some action. So right, let's pack away, do a bit of pre-baiting, and then let's go and have some lunch. Well, the rain is slowly calming down, thank God. It's been raining for the past hour, and it's sod's law, isn't it? You're not catching many fish, the weather's against you. What more can go wrong? So I think I'm going to get a rig made up, get it on this middle rod in this margin where I've been putting a little bit of bait, and then we'll try and catch a couple of carp while we're waiting for these dead bait rods to go off, because at the moment there's absolutely no signs of pike anywhere on both lakes. I'm just praying to God that otters haven't come in and took them. So I'm going to get a rig made up now, we'll get it out there, and then see if we can catch a couple of carp while we're waiting for these dead bait rods to go off. Here we go, here we go. I knew it wouldn't be long. What we got here? Was this the one from yesterday's camera shot? He was going absolutely mad for that bait. Oh, it was a nice scaly one. Let's be having it. Yeah, he's only a little small one. Lovely condition though, lovely markings on him. Look at them lips, not a mark on them. Absolutely beautiful little fish. Come on mate, we've got you. And that fish is actually covered in leeches, so he's been held up as well. Such a beautiful carp that is. Nice little chunky belly on him. Let's have a little look at his other side. Look at that, absolutely stunning. Beautiful little fish, little belly on him. Go on mate, you've got it. Here we go, here we go. What have we got here? There's only a tiny little one, and you can tell a mile off this is the kind of fish that's been in the lake since day dot. I mean, look at the colours on this fish, it's absolutely stunning. Only a tiny little thing, but right little fella. Absolutely stunning, lovely dark bronze colours, real golden flick to him. Come on mate, that's the one. Well, we're coming up to, what time is it? 4:45. 4:45 and no signs of any pike. This is going to go two ways. We're either going to get a decent one by the end of the week, or it could possibly turn into a blank on the pike front. But tomorrow I am going to have a few hours underwater filming for the carp. It'd be nice to see what other fish are in the lake. I think it might be time for a bit of evening food now, and then we can keep plodding on, just keep trying. Well, good morning, and it is about 7 o'clock. Last night was the same as the night before. It was dead. So we've been here for 48 hours. We've only had carp, which is a bit of a pain, if I'm honest. I think it was 3 or 4 fish last night, only small carp. But we've got today, tonight, which is Wednesday. We've got tomorrow, which is Thursday night, and then Friday morning I'll be shooting off. So hopefully by then we can get something. The carp, yeah, they're nice to catch, but I'm here for trying to get the big pike. That's the main thing. But we also want to know what else is in the lake swimming around. So we're going to have a bit of a mixed bag over the next couple of days. So I'm going to get those 2 rods set up like I had yesterday. We'll shoot up to these pegs. We'll fish till about 12, and then we'll come back here, set the camera up, and hopefully have a little bit of fun watching these fish feed, and maybe catch a few then as well. Oh, I've never known a lake to be so quiet. I'm praying to God the otters haven't come in and taken the pike. That's the only excuse I'm thinking of. It was a very mild night last night, but very damp. And I'm going to give it probably an hour and a half, and then we'll move to the next swim. Been here for a couple of hours. I haven't seen any other signs of fish at the moment, but I have put a 3rd rod out, so we've got a float in this left hand side near these snag lines, which I've seen the pike come through. We've got one out in the baited area, and then I've actually got a float near these snags on the right hand side. So I'm thinking if the pike comes through this baited area, we've got an opportunity, and if it's near these snags, having a bait near there, that might work in our favour, and this side as well. So yeah, I'm just keeping my eyes peeled for any signs of fish whatsoever. Well, 3 o'clock. Oh, 3 o'clock and we haven't had one sniff of a pike. I'm going stir crazy, I really am. I've got a choice. I can, in the next hour, pop to the bottom end peg where I baited up, put a bit of fish in, try that. I just feel like they're uncatchable at the moment, I really do. Even the smaller ones, I mean, to be honest, where I baited up, there's a small pike in there, probably 8-9 pound. Just constantly moving through the margins, and yeah, I'm not seeing any pike grouping up or anything. Normally if I see them, where it's like you've got normally a big female, 2 jacks either side, that's when they get ready to spawn. That I'd just wrap the rods up and I'd be fishing for the carp. But yeah, the idea this week was to come here, find out what's in the lake, any monstrous pike, which there is a couple. Well, when I say monstrous, a 27 and a 23 in this one, a 21 in that small lake. There could be more fish, you just never know. And then do some underwater filming and see what fish there is. If there's lots of eels, tench, bream. And on Monday when we turned up, I think there was quite a few perch, some roach, and then obviously a few carp getting straight on the bait. Now last night we had a few fish. I'm going to guess tonight might be really quiet on the baited area if we get the camera set up, because I have hammered the spot. We've had about 10-11 carp from there. We've got tonight, we'll have a go. I'm fishing 4 rods for pike tonight as I did last night, because obviously nothing's happening, so an extra rod ain't going to hurt anything. And then I'll get the underwater camera out hopefully, and then we'll get a bait in front of that for carp, see if we can see any other fish in there, and then go from there. Well, before we go back to the peg, I'm just going to have a quick half an hour on this bottom peg on the small lake, just in case there's anything hanging around, because we did pre-bait yesterday on these pegs and I don't want to miss any opportunity whatsoever. So I've got a rod to the right hand side, one to the left, and I'm just gonna give it a quick 45 minutes, half an hour. Normally if there's pike in the area you'll know about it, and I don't want to miss any opportunity because time is ticking on me. I ain't got long left. Well, I'll just put a little bit of bread in and the fish are already here. He was right, they don't take long to come here. So I can fish for them, but it'd be a waste of time. That's yeah, the little koi. Was it common? Or is it a ghost? Little common. Yeah, it'd be literally hook a duck. I mean, you can see the fish. I think there's a couple of them knocking around. There was a lovely mirror yesterday. Yeah, it's nice to see. It's a beautiful lake, nice and mature. Just the kind of place you want to fish. But we need that big pike. That is what we need. So we are ready for settling in. It's always been a tough day. I've tried everything in my power to get a bite and I just can't get anything. I've got a really horrible feeling that we're not going to get any pike this next couple of days. I really do. I'm going to try my best. So the plan now, I don't really know what to do tomorrow. I've got my lure rod with me. I could go and have a couple of hours lure fishing. I don't think it's going to make an ounce of difference, if I'm honest. I really don't. I might give that a bit of a miss. I don't know whether to just stay in this swim and try my luck, see if any come through the daytime. I have tried all the pegs today. I had an hour in the top corner in the small lake, and then I had half an hour in the bottom corner and nothing was happening. It has been fairly bright conditions today, not very good. The water is still fairly cold, which is brilliant, because if the pike starts spawning or show signs of spawning, I'll wrap all the rods away and I'll probably call it a day. But we've got a good chance of catching some fish, I think, for the carp side and anything else. The pike is going to be very temperamental. They really are. I can just see it in the behaviour. The fish I've seen, they're being very cagey. So I don't really know. I really don't. But I'm going to try my best to pull something out of the bag. Oh, it's just starting to get dark and I've seen a few carp topping on the surface. Got the surface rod with me. Why not? Let's possibly catch a few. Here we go. Oh yeah, go on my son. Go on my son. That's the one. That's the one. Oh my days. That's such a great bit of sport, it really is. He looks like an old one. Not massive, but look at the colours on it. That's stunning. Such a lovely little fish. You cannot beat surface fishing for carp. It is the best feeling ever. Well, that is an absolutely stunning bar of gold. Beautiful fish, full of energy. Look at that. That's one of the originals in the lake. You can tell a mile off. All right, little fella. Go on, mate. Look at that, lovely. Well, good morning, and it is about 6 o'clock-ish, and this right-hand rod went off about 15 minutes ago, and in true style, the GoPro camera
battery died on there. And we've had a small pike. Not the monster we need. Yeah, proper scrapper. I mean, look at the pattern on that. Lovely markings. Look at the colours. It's got like a yellow and green tinge to it. So that's our first pike of the session. I'm just resting him for 5 minutes, then looking get him back. But yeah, it would have been nice for the big gill. But that is the first one of the session. There you go, lovely. Well, we've got literally 3 dead baits left. No, we've got 4 dead baits to last us till tomorrow. So today we're just going to stay in this swim. I'm just going to give it a go, see what happens, and try and use the baits up for as long as possible, because I have used quite a bit of bait doing the pre-baiting, and unfortunately obviously nothing's worked because the pike just haven't been coming through. Only that one we had just a minute ago. So I'm just gonna same old sardine, a band to keep it on. Right, let's get this back out there. Still morning time, the old witching hour. Just down here. I think we're going to try these snags along there today. Get it bait boated out and give it a go.
Well, we're coming up to about 7:10. That bite we had earlier on, so picky. Only just up the fish, literally right on the side of the scissors. So these fish are, to say that the lake doesn't get hammered, they are being temperamental, and the carp last night was as well. They were coming in, they were munching away, and the pop-ups I was fishing, they went near them like on any other lake, went for them and then quickly swam away. So I put a little bit of pepperoni on last night and a little stick mix of tuna and ground bait, but nothing happened. It was just mainly silvers coming in, the bream and the roach, and then when it started to get dark, the swim was just void of any kind of fish. So what I've done, I've set the underwater camera up, I've put a dead bait in front of it. It would be nice for a bite there. And what I'm going to do with the other rods, I'm going to use my bait boat for the first time this session, and I'm going to boat them out along these snag lines. There's a lot of areas where the pike might be. They might not be moving much, or they might not be up for it, and that's what I am thinking. With me seeing 2 pike, a decent one, a real good one, and a smaller one yesterday, and only just managing to catch this small one this morning, it's telling me that they're being very temperamental. And on lakes, when that's happening, most of the time you're better off just leaving it and calling it a day. But you know, we've got 24 hours left. I'll be leaving tomorrow morning, so I'm hoping today, with me putting them in areas that I haven't been fishing these past few days, you never know, we might get some action. Right, let's try and get this in a couple of goes. Because no matter what, the PVA will melt when I try and drop it down. Right, let's go for it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, nearly. A little bit more. A little bit more. Oh yes, beautiful. Right in the middle of the camera. And it hasn't melted yet, brilliant. Right, rock and roll. clutch a little bit too tight on that one. Very small golden common. That was literally out there for 4 or 5 minutes, if that. But you just can't go wrong with pepperoni. I absolutely love it as a bottom bait. Yeah, lovely little fish. Come on, mate, we've got you. To about 2:30, the day's slowly ticking on. It is pretty much our last day. We're going to be leaving tomorrow morning, probably 9-10 o'clock. So I thought I'd come up here for a couple of hours. I know I was going to stay in that peg and have a go there, but to be honest, I just fancied to go on this top end. But I've got my bait boat with me, and what I've actually done, I've set the baits to the opposite side of the lake. After about an hour and a half, we'll move to this lake, which is a stone throw away, and then I'm going to send the baits out to different areas as well, just in case the pike are located in different areas, because if they are, it would be nice to get a chance to catch them. Now obviously the conditions aren't the best, and it really would probably pay me to do it at night time, but to be honest I can't be bothered coming down here and setting everything up around 7-8 o'clock. I'm just going to stay at the bottom end, so we'll just give it a bash for a couple of hours, and then when we get back we'll just chuck them out down the bottom end, and then I might put one out for carp tonight just to tickle it away a little bit, because it's going to be quiet, I know it is. And then pretty much go from there, and then that'll be my 5 days on here pretty much done, which is, it's gone really quick if I'm honest, because I've been trying to do all different bits and bobs, looking on different areas. I've spent probably 3 hours of today just looking in all the snags for any signs of pike, and I haven't seen anything at all. So the only pike I've seen this week is the big one in this margin, which was yesterday morning, and then the small one down here. So I've seen a couple of them coming through. We had a small one this morning. So other than that, it's just one of them things. They are in here, definitely in here now, but it's just a case of trying to crack it in 4 days. Never going to happen, I don't think. Tonight would be nice if we had a big one, but to be honest, I can't see it. I don't think we're going to get any pike whatsoever. It'd be nice if I'm wrong, but I just can't see it. But we've still got plenty of time left. Like I say, we'll be here till 9-10 o'clock, so fingers crossed we can get something. Well, 6:15. What a week, what a week. It's been testing. I honestly thought I'd have had maybe 120, either from this lake or the other one. And knowing that there was a 27 caught from here in October, November, that's over £30 now, guaranteed. That'll probably be 33, 34. But one small pike all week. These are going to be ready for spawning soon, I can see it a mile off. I haven't seen any movement, you know, with the group up, but I can see it. That sort of cooling off period for 1 or 2 weeks, they always do it. Nothing's seen, nothing's caught, then all of a sudden you just see them moving. Then hours later, they're thrashing in the margins, so that's my excuse anyway, because I'm pretty good at what I do, so I know full well if there was a big pike in the lake and they were up for it, would have caught it. I've covered every possible angle of this lake. The big lake, all the margins, the snags, I've got my bait boat. Both lakes, I've covered every corner. And if you've got a big pike in there and you're dropping dead baits and you're pre-baiting for 4 solid days, I can assure you they'll be on the bait. So it is what it is. It's a bit of a pain in the backside, but looking at the lake, it's got plenty of food in. I'm not surprised there isn't even any more 20 pounders in here. I've been looking at the cameras for the past couple of hours. I'm not fishing on them, I'm just chucking a bit of bait in, ground bait, to see what other small fish are in there. And there's roach, there's rudd, there's loads of bream, the carp, there's plenty of carp in here as well. So yeah, there's a nice dart for pike to get really big. And I'll have to come back here when the conditions are better in, let's say, October, November time, because we've obviously, the pike season finished a couple of days ago, and I thought we'll have a little last try. We've had loads of big ones out the drains, but on here
I thought, can we get an even bigger one, you know, than what we've had out the drains? But no, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a blank tonight, I really do. Hopefully I'm wrong and we get a decent one, but yeah, we'll just have to see how tonight goes. But I'm going to start packing everything away now, because I'm going to be away for probably 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then that'll be me done. Pike season's finished completely for me anyway. I don't normally fish after the end of the season, but a couple of days later don't make a difference, to be honest. So yeah, and then it's going to be fishing for everything. Common skate, going up into Scotland, going to be sea fishing, we're going to be doing all sorts, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, that's it really. Slightly disappointed, but at the same time, it's been nice to be here. It's beautiful lakes, the surrounding is absolutely gorgeous, it really is. It's like being on holiday abroad. The amount of hard work and effort that's been put into this place is unreal, and it's made it really, really nice and picturesque. And it's been a pleasure to be here, to be honest. Not being bothered by anyone, just me and the fish. Just need that big pike tonight, and that's all we need. Yeah, unfortunately that is the one. We didn't get the big one. I always hope for the big one. I tried everything, I really did. I've been staying up till like 12, 1 in the morning, just quickly popping down to the pegs at night, having a quick hour with it, just in case they've moved in the witching hour. I've been like a madman. I've been running around this lake with a couple of rods, just trying everything. Nothing's worked, and I bait boated them to every possible corner of the lake, just in case they're located in certain areas, with the bait fish maybe. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I've tried everything I can. So it might be a return visit maybe in the future. I feel very privileged to be on here, because obviously it's my friend and his wife's property, and it's their private lakes, and it's like the Garden of Eden. I've seen muntjac, I've seen badgers, I've seen kingfishers, and yeah, it's a beautiful place. And if I'm allowed back here, I can't wait. I really can't. Maybe October, November for a bit of pike fishing maybe, or maybe a bit of carp fishing in the summertime. I'm not too sure, but I'll have a chat with him later on. But for now, I'm going to end the video. So I just want to thank everybody for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.